Stop trying to become confident. Stop trying to protect your energy. Stop trying to feel abundant. Trying is the operative word. When you try, you are working at it. You are efforting. You are pushing. And the moment effort enters the picture, ease quietly steps out. This is not a message about doing nothing. This is not a message about avoiding action. This is a message about the kind of action you take. Action that comes from tension drains you. Action that comes from alignment restores you. Confidence does not arrive because you forced yourself to be brave. Confidence arrives when resistance softens. It arrives when the internal pressure eases. It arrives when you stop arguing with yourself about who you need to be and allow yourself to be where you already are. That is when energy rises naturally. That is when clarity appears. That is when confidence becomes obvious rather than manufactured. Most people believe confidence is something you build, something you add, something you acquire over time. But confidence is not something you build. It is something that returns when you stop blocking it. You were never meant to struggle your way into confidence. You were never meant to earn it by proving yourself. Confidence is your natural state when you are not busy holding yourself down with self-criticism, fear of judgment, or imagined expectations. Think of your energy like a cork floating on water. Left alone, it rises effortlessly to the surface. It does not need motivation. It does not need discipline. It does not need reassurance. The only way the cork stays submerged is if you are actively holding it down. The same is true for confidence, clarity, well-being, and abundance. They rise on their own when the pressure stops. This is where most people misunderstand alignment. They think alignment is something they must do, something they must practice intensely, something they must maintain perfectly. But alignment is not about adding something new. It is about stopping the behaviors that interfere with what is already there. Alignment is not effort. Alignment is allowance. When you notice yourself hesitating, overthinking, or shrinking back, that is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is a sign that resistance is active. Resistance is not something to fight. Resistance dissolves when it is not fed. The moment you stop pushing against yourself is the moment you stop narrating what might go wrong, the moment you stop rehearsing how you might be judged, the cork begins to rise. Confidence grows quietly. It does not announce itself. It does not demand attention. It shows up when you feel safe being seen. Safety does not come from controlling the environment. Safety comes from trusting your inner stability regardless of the environment. That is what it means to create a bubble of well-being. It is not a shield against the world. It is a grounded sense of self that does not depend on approval. Many people believe they need confidence before they act. But the truth is that confidence often appears after resistance relaxes. In the example you heard earlier, the individual did not suddenly become confident. They talked themselves into ease. They allowed resonance to build. They listened long enough for familiarity to replace fear. And once resistance lowered, action felt natural. This is how confidence actually works. You talk resistance down. You do not hype yourself up. You do not force courage. You choose thoughts that feel a little less tight. You choose perspectives that feel a little more neutral. You allow yourself to feel slightly better than before. And with each small release, alignment increases. The world constantly trains people to live conditionally. If this happens, then I will feel safe. If that changes, then I will feel confident. If they approve of me, then I can relax. Conditional living places your well-being in the hands of circumstances you do not control. Unconditional alignment places your well-being back where it belongs, within you. This applies to abundance as well. Abundance is not something you wait for. It is something you align with. Most people believe abundance depends on conditions, a certain amount of money, a certain level of security, a certain external arrangement. But abundance is a frequency before it is a number. It is a sense of flow before it is a bank balance. When you feel abundant, you are not ignoring reality. You are choosing the frequency that creates reality. When you feel scarce, you amplify scarcity. When you feel ease, you invite flow. This is not delusion. This is cause and effect at the energetic level. People often ask how to practice abundance. They assume it requires visualizing money or ignoring bills. But abundance is practiced by focusing on what feels good. Now, appreciation, relief, gratitude, expansion, enjoyment. These are not distractions. They are calibrations. When you focus on what feels good, you widen the channel of receiving. When you focus on what feels wrong, you narrow it. This applies to money, relationships, confidence, and opportunity. The channel responds to your emotional signal, not your words. Living unconditionally does not mean being careless. It means choosing your emotional state deliberately. It means practicing internal stability instead of reacting to external fluctuations. When you do this, your environment begins to reflect that stability back to you. There will always be people around you who operate from fear, from budgeting mentality, from control, from caution. Their frequency does not need to become yours. You do not need to argue with it. You do not need to resist it. You simply need to practice your own alignment consistently. When you truly believe in abundance, you demonstrate it calmly. You do not defend it. You do not debate it. You live it. And when others observe that ease, their resistance often softens naturally. Many people want conditions that allow them to feel good. They say, "Give me proof, and then I will relax. Give me certainty, and then I will trust." But trust does not come after proof. Trust comes before proof. Ease comes before manifestation. This is why aligned action matters. Action taken from panic reinforces panic. Action taken from clarity reinforces clarity. Aligned action feels inspired, not forced. It feels timely, not urgent. It feels satisfying, not exhausting. You are not here to wrestle life into submission. You are here to cooperate with it. When you move with the current instead of against it, life feels supportive instead of confrontational. That is what it means to be in the stream. When something feels heavy, it is not a failure. It is feedback. It is information guiding you back toward ease. Relief is your compass. The thought that feels lighter is the direction of alignment. The choice that feels calmer is the downstream path. Trust is not blind faith. Trust is recognizing the emotional guidance system already operating within you. When something feels expansive, you are aligned. When something feels constrictive, you are not. This guidance is simple. Humans complicate it. Your bubble of well-being is built through consistency, not intensity. Small moments of ease practiced often create stability. Over time, that stability becomes confidence. Confidence becomes clarity. The clarity becomes abundance. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not failing. You are learning how to stop holding yourself underwater. The moment you stop, you rise naturally. You were never meant to struggle your way into alignment. You were meant to allow what life has already prepared for you. Confidence is not something you chase. It is something that returns when you remember who you are. And the moment you choose ease, everything else begins to follow.